listen to something productive, read books. By the time you add today's 2 hours, 3 hours, you add it up over a week, over a month, you end up doing something reasonable. You can't get out of life more than what you have put into it. That's why the Bible says. Hello there, it's my wonderful pleasure to have you with me on the video today. The last video we talked about the subject of discipline, and we concluded by saying we have to get discipline with our time, with ourselves and our resources. So on this edition of the video, I'll be looking at the subject of time, and this very part we talk about the basis of time. Amazingly, time is the unit of equality in the sense that every human has access to 24 hours, whether you're the richest or the poorest. And that makes sense, at least that's fair. Unfortunately, study shows that 82% of people don't have any time management skill at all, or even the sense of time. And to make it worse, it is being said that the worst way to manage your time is to allow whatever comes to decide for you. And when I saw that, what came to my mind was, I imagined someone sitting in a boat in the middle of the sea. He or she has no paddle, and the boat in which he or she is sitting has no engine. So the person just depends on the wave current of the ocean to direct the flow or the movement of the boat. You agree with me that such boat is meant or is heading for a crash? And sadly, that is what's happening to most of us in this generation. I have never seen any great man that does not have high sense of value for time. Benjamin Franklin once said, "Does thou love life? Then do not squander time, for that is the stuff life is made up of." You know, you can't get out of life more than what you have put into it. That's why the Bible says, whatever a man soweth, so shall he reap. Yeah, you can tell me, oh, do you know I have to go to work? I have to go to school. I don't have time. Yeah, that might be true, but not true for all. Sometimes I've been to some establishments in Nigeria, I've been to some offices, and what people claim to call work is just a place where people just gist and talk. Sometimes people are going to work, they left home in the morning, and where they go to is the newspaper joint, discussing all sorts of things that has no head nor tail, doesn't have any value to them. Sometimes you go to offices, you just see people gisting about all the parties they've gone to all through the weekend. How sad is that really work? If you find yourself in such a gathering where people just gist, you work in an office whereby much is not doing or much is not being done, that is the best time for you to retract yourself. Put on your headset, listen to something productive, read books. By the time you add today's 2 hours, 3 hours, you add it up over a week, over a month, you end up doing something reasonable. And some people will say, oh, that's not my nature. It's not my nature to seclude myself. I'm a social person. Let me say this to you. There's a trait that is common to all great men. If you check all great men, some of the common traits is they are not people that are just here and there, just talking here and there. They have value for time. And let me say this to you. There's nothing of value that is nice in its natural state. They were processed. Gold, for example, if you take gold in its raw form, you wouldn't like it. By the time it goes through fire, it is refined and becomes shiny. Same thing with crude oil. We want crude oil. We can reckon with petrol and everything made from crude oil. But when you see it in natural state, it doesn't look good. So I'm talking to someone right now. Refine yourself. Stop being crude. Stop celebrating your nature. My nature is to be a talkative. My nature is to socialize. You're wasting away. The best part of your life is now. Or are you thinking you are going to be young forever? You're joking. Nnamdi Azikiwe once said, "Give me my youth back, I will pay any price for it." That's a name. He did one or two things. But even at that level, he still looked back and felt, how I wish I can make better use of my time. Life is a business. You are either recording losses or you are recording gain. The choice is yours. People that really make news don't have time to watch them. So stop jumping here and there.